What if the debt crushing your law firm isn't a revenue problem, it's a cash flow problem? You could be pulling in seven figures and still be one bad month away from bankruptcy. Hey, friend, thank you for joining me today. I want to talk with you about something that a lot of law firm owners, a lot of business owners face, and that is the D word, debt. Welcome to part 6 of our Profit First series. You know, it's so easy as a business owner to slip into debt when you're not watching the numbers like a hawk. Or hell, sometimes you're trying to grow. You sign up for that big advertising package that's supposed to deliver tons of great leads. You think to yourself, with just X number of new clients, this will pay for itself. And maybe it does bring in some new business. But before you know it, that revenue is gone, out the door to cover new expenses, and you're left holding the bag, a maxed out credit card. Sound familiar? If so, don't worry, you are in the right place. And also, don't be ashamed. It happens to many, if not most of us, at some point in our business journey. So today's main idea is this: how to use the Profit First cash flow system to not only regain control of your chaotic cash flow, but also to tame the debt monster and squash your debt once and for all. According to the Federal Reserve, roughly 40% of small businesses are carrying over $100,000 in outstanding debt. If you're carrying business debt right now, the biggest issue isn't the debt itself. It's the cost to service that debt. What's your interest rate? Do you know how much money is walking out the door in interest? It can be devastatingly large. If you've got $100,000 in credit card debt at 29% interest, you're paying $29,000 a year just to keep your debt from growing. And that's a real cost to your business. That's an admin salary. That's your marketing budget gone. Here's the thing. Revenue masks this problem. This is not a small law firm problem. This is not about not making money. This can happen to any size firm. You can be doing 7 or 8 figures in revenue and still drowning in debt. Ask me how I know. I've spoken to many. In fact, I spoke to a 7-figure law firm owner just recently who was facing a seemingly insurmountable debt load. On a revenue level, crushing it. 1.5 million in revenue. And that's a huge accomplishment. An established team of lawyers and paralegals, a prestigious, well-known name in the community, all the while facing a mountain of debt. $500,000. The owner was actively contemplating bankruptcy. How do we get here? How does this large of a monster grow? Little by little. The first little bit of debt seems harmless. Oh, I just need to cover payroll. I just need to pay for this ad campaign. It'll pay for itself. We've got a huge settlement coming in, etc., etc., etc. We get comfortable with a little debt and a little more, and then a little more, until one day we're staring at a monster. And what's at stake here is not just the cost, it's the viability of your business. It's the welfare of your employees and clients and your own family. Are you a month away from bankruptcy? Let's fix it. So why are we talking about profit if we're talking about bankruptcy and debt? Well, as you know, the Profit First system has you allocate all incoming money into one of 4 sub-accounts: profit, tax, owner's compensation, and operating expenses. If you're struggling with business debt, Profit First might be your key out of here. And here's how. Here's your action plan. So first, you need to get your debt or you need to get your cash flow organized. That's why Profit First. Because Profit First fundamentally gives you a cash flow organizational system. And Profit First is about managing our bad behavior as business owners. It's a structural framework that reduces our cognitive bias towards bad financial decision making. Well, that was a great definition. I just came up with that on the spot. But really, that's what it does. It helps manage our behavior. And furthermore, you can't start to manage your debt and your cash flow until you can actually really see it. You need visibility. And so setting up the system is the first step. That's step one. You've got to have a structural framework for managing your cash flow. Okay. Step two, stop using the credit cards. At this one, you're going to fight me. You're going to fight me on this one. I know it. But my points, everything goes on the credit card. As business owners, this is what we do. We put everything on the card. I know it feels impossible, but you've got to cut the line. No more adding to the monster. So you've got to stop adding. It's going to be impossible. It is impossible to pay down debt and be adding to it at the same time. And I know it's scary. It's scary to pay cash for things. It really is. But if you really have been struggling, this is the only way. The only way to get out of the debt spiral is to move to a cash system. Now, if that's too much for you, and I get that might be too much, you at least need to stop adding to the cards that you're trying to pay down. You've got to maybe have a new card that you're going to use, and you're going to commit to paying off every single month. Okay? But at the same time, you need those other cards to start going down. Okay? Now I caution you because you might be just setting yourself up for failure if you go and open up a whole brand new card and start using it. So be careful. But it's true. You can't start decreasing the debt if you're continuing to add to it. Okay, step three, set aside money for profit. What? What the hell? I've got debt. I've got credit cards. What the hell? You want me to set aside money for profit? Well, hear me out. Even if it's just 1%, this is the profit first system. Your first account is profit. You're going to need to start putting 1% of everything that comes in into your profit bucket. Why? Here's why. It's going to change the way you think. And that's critical. There's a mindset shift. There's a psychological shift that needs to happen. And by setting money aside up front, you're going to start to shift your mindset and shift your behavior. It's why all the great, financial gurus say this too. If you're going to pay down your credit card debt, you've got to get your emergency fund first. It seems counterintuitive. Doesn't seem to make sense. But it is going to be the secret. You've got to tell your brain, we're profitable and we can do this. And I'm going to tell you what to do with your profit in a second, so stick around. Number 4, determine how much you can actually spend. Now you're going to have to do some work. I hate to break it to you. I know you want it to be easy. But friend, you're going to have to dig into the numbers. You're going to have to set aside a couple of hours. You're going to have to really dig in, and you're going to have to figure this shit out. Okay? So get cracking, because here's what you're going to have to do. Number 4, determine how much you can actually spend on OpEx. Okay? Now, here's a way you don't want to run profit first. My OpEx account just goes to pay off my credit card. Okay, because that's what's going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to start accruing more debt on that credit card. All right, so that's not what we want to do. That defeats the purpose. We set up profit first, and then we're just using what's left over in the OpEx account to pay off the credit card. Oops, there's not enough. And that's not how you want to do it. So you're going to have to do some math. Figure out how much you can actually spend on OpEx after paying profit, taxes, and owner's comp. So we need to figure out what percentage is going to go in those buckets. Well, you've already got 1% going to profit. You're probably going to have somewhere around 15% going to taxes. I'm just spitballing here. Actually, we have a great article on our website about how much, how to calculate your tax percentage. I'll link that in the show notes for you. And then third, the owner's comp. So let's say you got 1% going to profit, you got 15% going to taxes. Let's say you got another 15% going to owner's comp. Should probably be more like 20, 25. Let's say 25. 25% going to owner's comp. So 25 plus 15, that's 40. You got 41%, including your profit. The other 59%, that's what you can run your business on. Now you're going to have to do some math. Take your revenue times 59%. That's your budget for everything else. If it doesn't fit in that budget, you've got a problem. Okay. If you're making $1 million a year, that means 59%, 590,000. I've got to run my business on $590,000 because the rest of it has got to go to profit, taxes, and paying me. And yes, you need to get paid. All right. Number 5, here comes the fun part. Do an expense audit. And I mean a real one. Line by line. You're going to, this is going to take a couple hours. So dig in. Get your credit card statements or get your accounting software, whatever's keeping track of your expenses. Start January 1st of last year, and I want you to go through every single expense. Maybe start with last quarter. Okay, I'll make it a little bit easier for you. Start with last quarter, and then you're going to go to the beginning of last year because you need to capture those one-time annual expenses. You need to capture those. Okay. Go line by line through every single expense, and you're going to ask yourself, is this something I definitely need? It definitely produces profit. Okay, we can keep those. Is it something that I don't necessarily need? I could replace it with something cheaper. I could replace it with AI. I could negotiate it. Mark those. And then finally, is it something I truly don't need? Is it something I signed up for and I'm paying for and I don't need anymore, I'm not using? Is it a software subscription I forgot about? Is it a service I don't use? Ask yourself the tough questions. Do you have the premium package when the basic one will do just fine? There's a lot. I mean, as a law firm owner, I feel like you're really targeted by some of these vendors that charge a lot of money for their services, and it's easy. You want to sign up for the bright shiny package. I get it, but it can be very easy to spend too much. And let me tell you something. Some of the best, most profitable law firms I know run with no physical office space. If you have a fancy office and you feel like you really need it, I would start there because that's a big expense. Or, what's your biggest expense outside payroll? Start attacking that. Don't the little tiny things, yeah, they add up, the $15 here and $10 there, but start with the big shit and let's get that out of the way. Okay. And if you have been working virtually and you're contemplating getting a physical office space because you feel like you need one, but you've been killing it all this time, I caution you. Do you really need it? Let me tell you something. When I finally gave up my physical office and I could save that money, oh my God, that was amazing. Okay. So maybe you don't need it. I had a really nice office at one point, but now I am virtual. Look at me. Okay. Now, after you've done your expense audit, number 6 is you're going to negotiate. Okay, you're going to put your lawyer hat on and you're going to negotiate with your vendors or you're going to shop for new ones. You'd be surprised just how much you can save by just asking. I was using a marketing agency once that they were great. I loved working with them. They were writing my blogs for me, doing my email campaigns. And I had been working with them for several years, and the price had been the same for a long time. And I get that. That's a mistake. Your prices need to go up with inflation, friend. They reached out and said that their prices are going to be increasing because they needed to, right? Well, I just by asking the question, I wrote back and I said, you know what? I've been a customer for a long, long time. And how about what did I say? Call it a loyalty discount. And they gave it to me. They were like, okay, well, since you've been around a long time, we'll keep you at the same rate. Voila. Look, and that was thousands of dollars back in my pocket. Okay. So negotiate. And last but not least, here's what you're going to do with your profit account that you've been putting 1% in. You're going to use 99% of that 1% to pay down debt. So at the end of the quarter, you're going to take 99% of what's in that profit account and you're going to pay down your highest, most expensive debt. What's going to happen with that other 1% of 1%? You're going to reward yourself. It's not going to be much. It might be $10, but you're going to give yourself a little reward because you've earned it. But the rest, attack that debt like your business depends on it, because it does. Now, let's go a little bit deeper. Some law firms, not all law firms, but many law firms face a special kind of debt that doesn't show up on your balance sheet, unless you're fancy. It's your accounts receivable. Oh, that dirty word. Are your clients paying on time? If not, you are lending them money for free. And the law firm I spoke to that I was referencing earlier had a huge accounts receivable problem. You've got to collect on your AR. You must. No other vendors your vendors don't allow you to go months without paying. Neither should your clients. So I've got 3 rules to help you with your AR, okay? The first is the 14-day rule. Once an invoice hits 14 days past due, stop all legal work for that client until they pay. No exceptions, period. This is not meant to be mean. This is professional. Rule number 2, the 90-day rule. Once an invoice hits 90 days, you're not going to collect on it. Your collectability rate goes way, way, way down. Write it off. Send reminders at 30, 45, and 60 days. After 90, it's not coming. Move on. And the third rule, the evergreen retainer rule. Shift your model so that work only begins when the retainer is replenished. Or bill the client monthly and keep the retainer as a reserve in case they don't pay. This keeps you from financing your client's litigation or legal needs out of your own pocket, which is essentially what you are doing. And you may want to explore the concept of flat fee billing. Worth looking at. One more thing, lockup reduction. Some law firms are waiting to get paid, and they're doing work and waiting to get paid. And if that's you, you want to map out your work to cash cycle and you want to get paid faster. If it takes 3 months to get paid for work done today, you're essentially carrying 90 days of internal debt. Shortening your cash cycle, even by just a couple weeks, can give you a huge cash injection. Getting paid faster, or getting paid at all, is the easiest win. It's the easiest way to improve your cash flow without bringing in a single new client. And if you need help collecting on outstanding invoices, I know a great service. My friend Matt runs it. It works there. Check out Colebox at colebox.co. Shout out to you, Matt, if you're listening. They specialize in helping businesses recover unpaid invoices without damaging the client relationship. And Matt did not pay me anything to make that shout out. That's just, I know they do good work. Okay, so what can you do? If you have credit card debt, do the expense audit this week. You've got to do it. You've got to make some time. Something needs to go. You need to cut. You don't need all those expenses. And this is so near and dear to my heart, friend, because I've been in your shoes. I've done it. I've accumulated credit card debt in my own business to fund growth, thinking that the payoff would come and everything would be fine and rosy. And don't get me wrong, sometimes leveraging financing to take advantage of growth opportunities is a great strategy. But carrying debt without the revenue bump you need, well, that's a path to sleepless nights and existential dread. Don't go there. Here at The Lawyer Millionaire, we believe your law firm should be building you wealth and freedom, not stress and debt. And we can help you do just that. If you want to go deeper on this, join our community and the Profit on Purpose book tour happening now. Our next masterclass is coming up on February 26th, and you're not going to want to miss it. I'd love to see you there. Just head over to community.lawyermillionaire.com and sign up. It's free. And I've got one more treat for you. If you want to know exactly where your law firm stands right now and where the profit leaks are, where's the problem, I got you covered. Take my free profitability diagnostic. we'll put the web address in the link in the show notes, at our website, lawyermillionaire.com. It'll give you a clear picture of your firm's financial health in just a few minutes, 10 minutes or less. Go through that exercise and you will get your own free diagnostic that will point you to exactly where the leaks are in your business and the steps you can take to massively improve your profitability. Well, that's it today, friend. And remember, if your law firm isn't building you wealth and freedom, what the hell are you doing? Can I get an amen up in here? I'll see you next time.